This is the first segment about legal terms training. We have had a bunch of different changes to our legal terms. So we're going to go over those changes, get into B2B, B2C terms and conditions, and then talk a little bit about Berry. Further down the line, if we have time, we'll also do some Q&A with quiz. So again, pay attention because the quiz is coming up. All right, so this is the new era of ONTOP, right? Like, in order to make those client and worker experiences distinct, we created separated terms for them. Because originally we had the ONTOP platform terms of service, and this was a single legal document for any type of ONTOP platform user. But we know that worker and client experiences are very different. So starting February 9th, we rolled out the B2C general terms and conditions, which from here on out, I'm going to call B2C TNCs, and then the B2B TNCs. All right. So what is the summary of the main changes? One, platform TOS discontinued, right? Now we have those new dedicated legal terms, B2C, B2B, and B2C. We have those client and worker legal experiences. In addition to these specific legal terms, we have legal landing pages, which I'll show you in a second. We have new B2B products and services, and then worker wallet TOS or terms of service is also new. So in terms of these landing pages, take a look at it. This is what B2B and B2C terms on our website looks like, right? Whether you're using the platform as a client or as a worker, these are like the terms that would apply to you. And as you can see here, this section will show the specific, legal terms. In other places, you can view them as dedicated web pages, but on these landing pages, it shows up in this layout so that off to the side, you can see these are B2B general terms and conditions and other supplementary terms. So depending on the one that you select, it will show you those specific terms. What's great about this is if you're a client or a worker, we used to have a legal directory which showed you extensive, exhaustive list. And now you're just like, I'm a worker. I want to know what applies to me. I'm a client. I want to know what are those main legal terms that apply to me. And it shows it all in a single page, right? With B2C for the workers, since we have a larger, let's say, suite of financial services, so we have worker wallet, hard terms of service, different subscription plans, funding solutions like Peak. And so all of that can be seen on each one of these landing pages, okay? So just going to a comparison here, again, B2B for the clients, B2C for the workers. The changes in structure, we've made it like two main segments, payroll services and payment management services, and then B2C is payroll and financial services. We have a bunch of different new products and services all listed here. We have direct references now to subscription plans, funding solutions, and beta test services. There's certain legal differences. Payment agent acknowledgement and acceptance are in both of them. There is a small change in limitation of liability. There's a specific mixed classification because that only applies to clients. And then commercial arbitration was a change here. It used to always be consumer, but for the B2C, it's consumer. Then the supplementary terms, we have the acceptable use policy updated and the general disclaimer as well. Here, the worker wallet terms of service have changed. These other supplementary terms haven't changed, just the layout in which we present them to the users. All right, so B2B TNCs, the client experience. There are a number of different key legal definitions, which you can see throughout the document, reinforcing B2B services fall under payroll and payment management. Client and client account are important concepts to understand. Worker, whether a contractor or an employee, the different business models, USign, ONTOP Signs, employer of record, Flex Seats, Global Seats, Direct Pay, Prepay, beta test services, ONTOP API, and ONTOP integrations. We'll get into those in a second. So the business models, USign, ONTOP Signs, and employer of record. You guys know about these. This is just to reinforce. Essentially, USign, client engages the contractors directly. ONTOP Signs, we subcontract those contractors on behalf of the clients. And then employer of record, either ourselves through a subsidiary or a partner, we hire employees or FTEs. Okay, so the new products and features. ONTOP API essentially is offering custom integrations between our platform and a client platform that isn't industry standard. That's the difference with ONTOP integrations. ONTOP integrations like, hey, you want to connect to the ONTOP platform, you're using Bamboo HR, you're using QuickBooks or any other industry standard, we can connect them. So those two are covered now in the B2B terms. Direct pay and prepay. So direct pay essentially says, rather than through the standard flow on uSign, where either you automated the contract or you uploaded your contract as a client with your worker, you can just put in some data and you'll be able to make the payments without having to upload the contract. Important to note, you still need the contract, and if we ever ask for it, they need to provide it to us. But that's what direct pay is. And prepay is essentially the predecessor to the client wallet. It's not there yet. We can't call it a client wallet, but it essentially allows clients to top up funds and make payments of our ONTOP fees or the invoices to workers for the compensation, right? All right, and then B2B, the main invoicing models. Obviously, Vivi's going to get more into this, but global seats and flex seats are covered there. These are some small descriptions. B2C T&Cs. Now we're going to the worker experience. Please let me know how I'm doing on time, okay? Here are some of the legal definitions. Obviously, B2C, payroll and financial services. Worker account is important. Again, the definition of worker, the different business models, beta test services. Here we have subscription plans, funding solutions, and the worker wallet, in addition to the ONTOP part. All right. Again, this is the same as before. uSign, ONTOP signs EOR. In terms of the financial services, we talk about the worker wallet. We made this change and called it the worker wallet because in the future, we foresee that we will have a client wallet. So we don't want to get those mixed up. And then ONTOP card, as we know, the subscription plans, which are associated with benefits in relation to the card, and then funding solutions such as ONTOP Peak and ONTOP Quick. All right, so there's new terms of service. Once upon a time in the platform TOS, the worker wallet was section 9. This was for multiple reasons, but now that we have this layout and these general terms of conditions as the umbrella agreement, as that general contract that can, let's say, hold the other supplementary terms under its wings, well, now worker wallet has become its own terms. And this is important because it's allowed us for the general terms to, talk about the array, the suite of products and services. And then once we talk about the very specific, product or service, well, if it is, sufficiently, let's say, implemented and mature, it will have its own dedicated legal terms where it explains it in depth, okay? All right, so that's it for B2B and B2C. One last thing I did want to mention is Barry, our legal AI chatbot, right? Obviously, he or she can solve any questions related to your legal doubts. I'm sure some of you has used it, but also it's very easy to join the Slack channel. It's Barry chatbot. You either say hi, Barry, or tag custom GPT. I think right now it's custom GPT and not using that tag, and it will answer your questions, cite sources. If needed, they'll ask the legal team for help, and then you can wait for Barry's answer to be verified by one of us, just to make sure that the answer is accurate. We're continuously working on Barry and making him or her more accurate and precise with the answers. But the chatbot taps in not only to a lot of these different legal pages, like the terms and conditions, terms of service, different contracts and summaries that legal put together. So sometimes it just summarizes information that we have already created.